Today's episode of the 404 is brought to you by Acronis. Your files, photos, and documents are probably worth more to you than your computer, so why don't you have a better backup plan to protect those files? Acronis is honoring World Backup Day, which is March 31st, by offering a bonus license of its award-winning Acronis True Image Backup solution with any purchase. Visit trueimage.com/404show to learn more about the deal. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 404 show on this Friday, March 11th. Oh, my God. Justin Yu is here.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
Dude,
my God,
and it's 311 Day.
No, is it really?
No way of always been down. Do it. Let me hear you.
311 was an inside job.
Oh, that's messed up.
Perfect.
Sorry. Isn't that one of their songs?
No, they didn't sing a 9/11 conspiracy
No,
song.
It was a 311 conspiracy.
Yeah, that they are
That's
the
a
conspiracy.
Fast Car? Did they sing Fast Car?
That's a Tracy Chapman
Oh,
song.
yeah.
God,
Sorry.
you're a dummy.
My bad.
Man, it's great to see your face.
Yay.
It's great to smell your musk.
This is nice. This is audio only, so you're the only ones that can see my face.
You feel good about that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about March for a second? Sorry to jump in.
Oh, yeah,
Sure,
please.
Russ. What?
Everyone always says March in like a lion, out like a lamb, right? Is that April?
It's in like a lamb, out like a lion.
No, you're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Yes, because the lion represents the winter.
Bad, right, exactly.
Yeah,
so
the
in
lamb-
like a lion, out like a lamb.
Right.
Right?
Yes, we all agree on that stupid animal season analogy.
Right, but then it's April showers bring May flowers.
Yes.
So April starts shitty too?
No, but the showers are still smooth. Like a shower, I'm not scared of a shower.
Yeah, they're not roaring showers. That's why
It's
there's
not like
no
thunderstorms.
lion.
So lamb-like showers.
Yeah.
Yeah, sheepish showers.
Okay, understood.
Is the name of this show today.
Okay.
So you got that, Justin?
Yeah,
You're all
yeah.
set?
So far, it's been a pretty nice March, though, so I'm not complaining.
It's weird. It's like 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's all Donald Trump's fault. What?
I feel pretty good about it. You have eyes, don't you? When you walk outside.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how you been, man? What have you been up to?
I've been pretty good. I've had the apartment to myself for the past month. So
A month is a long time.
Well, it's actually been a month and a half, and I still have another 2 more weeks to go.
Whoa.
So I've been kind of holed up in that apartment,
So what-
surrounded by seamless web cardboard containers,
And you haven't heard-
styrofoam
and you-
boxes,
That's creepy.
Pringles containers,
And Lubriderm. So you have you hurt yourself? You're having
Yeah, overdosed. I've overdosed on everything in the past 2 months. Yeah, so the backstory is that Peony unfortunately lost her job. That's the sad part of the story. Last month, and she was doing accounting for a startup. And after that, instead of doing what I think I and everyone else would have done, which is sit on your ass or go on vacation and be lazy for a while, she decided to look into taking a boot camp class for data analysis. So you guys have heard of like General Assembly in Brooklyn
Sure.
and stuff. It's like
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
sure.
can take a 2-month crash course in whatever lessons you want.
It's like Barry's boot camp for nerds.
Exactly. It's basically an adult internship.
and there's like pocket protectors and calculators. And
Pretty much, yeah, an incubator. So she found one that was part of Northeastern University, but it's actually in San Jose.
Okay.
And she's out there for 2 months to learn that stuff, and when she comes back, hopefully she'll be able to get a job, sort of like in an entry level position, but still more than what you would get if you didn't have anything.
Interesting.
That's crazy. So it's sort of like this. It's almost like Is it like a dorm situation too?
No, it's not like that.
Because that's what I'm
Not
imagining.
that boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wake you up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Get on your feet and solve this.
Make your bed.
She's getting code reds.
How many deductions can we make with this? That's pretty good.
No, well, it's pretty tough. I mean, it's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 2 months, and that's how they fit all the concepts in there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's
she
like
has
a
an apartment
job.
and stuff where she sleeps at the end of
That's
the day.
nice.
But it is really intense. And coming from a job and not being in school for a while, I sympathize with her. 'Cause
Totally.
I definitely don't have the study skills now, or even before, to have done a class like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's gone. And I've just been keeping to myself, enjoying the privacy at home. You guys live with your girlfriends. Could you
Yes.
imagine what you would be doing?
I live
He's
with
married
my wife
now.
and my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives with his ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And then your fiance.
My fiance.
Yeah, that's right. We're all getting hitched up.
Yeah, and I don't know what the future will hold. I might be in a permanent cohabitation situation.
Yeah.
In the next few years, who knows?
Were you not
so this might be the last time I could really enjoy myself alone.
Yeah, I'd hate for her to
came
come
out
back and you just break up with her. That'd be that'd be
Things
kind
are
of a
great.
dick move.
Yeah, I was like, I think you guys enjoying this too much. I've already booked another.
Change the locks. No, Justin here. Sorry.
Where'd he go?
So-
That was the last time I saw him.
Do you feel lonely?
Is
it a bummer
when
coming
I
home?
talk to her, I do. I tell her that I feel lonely. No, we've been together for 4 years now, and we've never spent more than even a month apart from each other. So there are times when it gets, a little bit lonely in the house at night and stuff. But aside from that, I feel like I've been a lot more social with my own friends lately.
Sure.
Because, like having a girlfriend-wife relationship is obviously very social all the time. So normally when she's, out with friends and she's here, I like to just spend time by myself, like literally doing nothing, listening to music or whatever.
Yeah.
And so now when she's gone, I kind of value those social times a little bit more.
Isn't it weird how I never thought I would love doing nothing so much?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. If I had asked myself when I was a kid, what do you want to do?
Nothing.
Just gonna zone out for a while.
If someone asked me when I was 6, what do you want to be when you grow up? It would be like hockey player or filmmaker.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? And now 30, I'm almost 34. 34-year-old Jeff wants to talk to 6-year-old Jeff and be like, nah, dude, you just want to chill out.
Take more naps.
You just want to sleep and
Well, it's not actually nothing, right?
No,
what is your nothing at home? Like mine is
nothing-
definitely listening to music.
Yeah, my nothing is actually pretty involved. It's like playing a lot of games, eating, watching stuff, laughing, maybe like, writing a little bit.
Writing?
Yeah, just like writing down some ideas.
What?
Some like weird.
Just jotting down stuff?
I just have like, I feel like, I go through parts of my life where I get very creative.
Okay.
And I think like the sort of the lull I was in, being so tired from being a new father, I feel like that's ended, and I have this like new renaissance of creativity that I'm embracing.
Yeah.
And now I'm enjoying that.
So you've been journaling.
I've been journaling. I've been sketching, even though I'm not a terrific artist.
Yeah.
I'm just letting my mind do things that I didn't allow it to do for the last year.
Okay.
Is that weird? Do I sound like new age weirdo Jeff?
Yes.
A little bit, right?
Yes, big time.
I think so.
I got to get home and clean the house.
Yeah.
The house is a mess. That's
2
definitely
weeks.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And also the kitchen hasn't been used for a month, so that's collecting dust. I got to wipe that counter
So
down.
what have you been watching stuff? Like, are you watching movies and TV shows? Like, what are you into now? I want to
Yeah.
get caught up because, like, for a while, I kind of, I would definitely tap you for some advice on pop culture or even non-pop culture stuff. Like, what are you into now?
Well, I wanted to talk to you guys about this documentary that I watched called The 7-5.
Okay.
And I first heard about it because Joe Rogan had this guy, Michael Dowd, who's the subject of the documentary on his podcast. And it basically talks about these dirty cops that worked in the 75th precinct in Brooklyn in the 70s and 80s.
That
and
sounds
these
scummy.
guys, maybe
Not a
6
good time.
cops were responsible for bringing in a huge majority of the crack cocaine that came into the city.
Okay.
And of course, obviously New York and the area around there
I'm
during
sorry
the
if
80s
you
was
hear-
bad with crack.
I'm sorry
and this
if
is
you-
where it all came from.
I'm sorry if you hear the giant bomb guys. If you want to know what the hell they're doing,
We're recording in a bar right now.
well, no, they're doing this like it's called Project Beast, and it's like
Oh, the
them
Kerbal
playing
stuff.
the Kerbal space program. Have you heard of that video game? Yeah, and there's no way you've heard of that.
It sounds like fun, though.
Yeah, they're like they
They're
go on
having
these
more fun than we
missions,
are.
and they get excited.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if that interrupted your very intimate storytelling.
I do want to know, so where were they getting the crack cocaine?
So they were
Yeah,
getting
that's a
it
good
from
question.
South America, and they were
Okay.
importing it through the city.
Were they like
using this
literally
guy.
going to South America like Scarface style and like picking it up in bags?
They
and coming
weren't,
back?
but they made They created this relationship with a local drug dealer that was sourcing it from, I think, the Dominican Republic or
Got it.
Colombia, maybe
Okay.
both. But this guy, actually, the drug dealer they were working with, owned 6 bodegas in East New York
Oh,
around
so
Flatbush Avenue.
they were just
and,
fronts.
and the story about how they hide, they would go and pick up these drugs from
Yeah.
them, and anyone could. So
Sure.
if you wanted to buy crack, you'd have to go to one of these bodegas. and you'd walk all the way to the back, and there was a green door in all of these bodegas. You knock twice, and
Was
and
it
then
always
you tell
green?
them how much you want. Yeah,
That's good branding.
yeah, right. It's fluid all the
Well,
way across.
I mean, it'd be good branding if it was weed. I feel like
that
Yeah.
would make more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe a white door.
right.
I just
Is crack
feel like
white?
if
I don't
I'm,
know.
Grayish.
I feel like it's gray, crystally white.
I'll research that.
I feel like it looks like the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes.
Also, if I was in New York for the first time ever and wanted to get my hands on some crack, I feel like I would organically walk into a bodega. I'd be like, "This is shady effing place. I bet there's crack available in there."
Probably.
Right?
Really? And you'd ask the guy?
No, I mean, look, if I'm a guy who smokes crack, I'm probably doing whatever I want. Need to
I
get
feel like I
crack.
would go to a really bad neighborhood and start asking people.
See, I
That
don't
would
know,
probably
see,
end really poorly
Yeah,
for
that
you.
sounds-
Yeah, but
dangerous.
going into a bodega and just being like, hey,
Also a bad idea.
like
right?
ringing the bell, like ding, ding, ding.
But-
There's no crack here.
Bodegas in New York are definitely where all this shady stuff goes down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did I ever tell you guys about that bootleg cigarette spot that I used to go to?
Yes, but I don't know if it was on air.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll tell you now.
Yeah,
So,
I want to hear it.
I don't smoke a lot of cigarettes, but every once in a while I'll buy a pack and smoke it or whatever. Little Jeff is doing. I don't know what you're doing. Is that how you smoke a
invisible
cigarette?
cigarette.
I'm doing the scene
Flicking your
in
wrist.
Knocked Up when Ken Jeong is
Oh,
asking
yeah.
her, like, "Do you smoke?" And she's like, "No." He's like, "Not even like a little like, meh." Like a quickie,
Very specific.
quickie little. Not even every now and then.
Yeah, a little
Deep cut.
So anyway, back when I first moved into the city, somebody told me that you can get cigarettes that are imported from other states and
Like Jersey.
from Jersey, yeah,
Right.
basically, or Delaware, anywhere that's like $5 packs. And basically, you had to go into this one bodega on Canal Street.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because when you walked in, there was always a really young Asian girl working the counter.
Okay.
Young as in like 10 or 11,
Oh, that is weird.
right? So you would have to go up to her and you would say, "I want Pringles."
Okay.
Pringles was the code word.
I understand.
And the
what
reason-
if you really wanted Pringles, though?
You might have to go to a different bodega
for a surprise.
because all the Pringles canisters contained cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you would go in and ask for Pringles, and that was the code word. She would walk back, also in the back room, not a green door.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, there's always back room.
Who
shit.
knows
Yeah.
what else is going on?
Do you
down
think
there?
they use
mahjong
Pring-
rings?
Do you think they use Pringles because, like cigarettes, once you pop, you can't stop?
That's super lame, and you deserve to get punched. No, but no,
Because
that-
the cigarettes
They
fit
fit-
perfectly
yeah.
inside of one of those mini half containers.
Really?
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
that
think
how?
about it.
Is that how you get them?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
then she
shut.
would go.
That's what
So
he's
she
saying.
would go into the back, right?
Yeah.
And you would tell her how many you want. You would say, 2 Parliament boxes or 2
Well,
Camel
that's
Lights,
not.
whatever
You're
you
just
want.
losing the terminology now.
And
You gotta say,
right. Well, after the
Cool
Pringles,
Ranch.
Cool
Pringles.
Ranch was Parliament.
No. Pringles was just the introduction to so that she would know that you want cigarettes.
Yeah.
Basically. So then you would tell her what you want. She'd go into the back, and then she would bring these little Pringles canisters out, and each one would be filled with cigarettes.
But they were Lucy's, right?
no,
full
packs.
Yeah, full packs.
But a
for
Pringles
$5.
canister is round, but packs of cigarettes
but
are
wide
square.
enough to fit the rectangle.
But there's so much
box.
unused space there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
It's
There
what do
really
you want? Do you want
not
them to
smart.
put glitter in the rest of it?
is. Confetti.
Use like a Nilla wafers box.
Okay, all right.
And then you'd be able to fit
they
way
must
more
have
cigarettes
eaten a
in
lot
there.
of Pringles because they had empty containers.
What about
back
a box of cards?
there. That
Right, that would-
Deck of cards.
Right. I think that's too small.
Yeah, it might be too small.
But then they got shut down probably for the cigarettes.
I heard that the vast majority of the cigarettes being sold in New York City are actually bootleg cigarettes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they just sell them at the full price.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
that-
they get them from Canada. Or
That would make
neighboring
sense.
states.
You can tell
It's
there's
gotta be
always
so easy.
on the bottom of every pack of cigarettes is the
Yeah,
state
the stamp.
tax
Mhm.
stamp.
Yeah.
Stamp. that you
They
can
even
look
had
at.
Chinese cigarettes, which were insane, like alarmingly cheap. Like you don't want to pay that little amount of money.
Yeah, but I
for
also
it.
don't
It's
wanna
like
smoke,
$2
right,
for a
glass.
pack.
And I
Yeah,
don't want
who
to
knows?
smoke Chinese cigarettes.
Fiberglass.
I don't. Not yeah.
But
That
anyway,
doesn't
getting
sound
back to these bodegas, so they would have 6 of them, right, in this
Right.
movie, and that's where they would source the crack cocaine from. And the amount of corruption that happened between these 6 guys was amazing. So they were pulling down $4,000 a week.
Okay.
In the 80s was a lot of money.
Sure.
Right? These
Still a lot of
cops
money.
were. And eventually, the reason why this the guy that was leading it, Michael O'Dowd, the reason why he got caught was because he stopped picking up his paychecks from the NYPD.
Oh, what a dumbass!
Because they were what, so little?
Because there was so little compared to the amount of money that he was pulling in from the
Is that
side.
4,000 per person or the whole group?
per person.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
this was
sizable.
$2 billion a year for the actual drug runners that
Right.
were operating that.
How do you not? That's just amateur.
Yeah, and he had bought a Corvette that he was
Oh,
driving.
what a
in
dummy.
on a cop's salary.
What a dummy.
But that's the thing is there was so much corruption and it went so high that you could do stuff like that
Yeah.
and get away with it.
So how did he get caught?
Transparent. He got caught because there was what do you call them?
The Rat Squad.
Yeah, exactly. The internal affairs
Yeah.
came in and started suspecting him
I got
because
the
he was so
IA
flamboyant.
up my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really recommend this movie, and the characters in this are amazing.
Yeah.
It's like super New York, your stereotypical
Yeah,
New York
yeah.
thugs.
we went to
This guy's more of a gangster, than he is a cop.
Yeah.
But it's relevant too, based on a lot of the stuff we're dealing with police departments now too.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie though. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but you can definitely buy it online.
7.5.
Yeah, the 7.5.
All right, we'll link to that in the show notes. What's the shadiest shit you've ever done?
What?
Like
We're just
that-
confessing stuff.
No,
on
like
here.
that whole story. I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff in my head that's racing through my head right now that I'm not going to talk about.
Right.
That I've just seen.
Okay.
Well,
I'll
I
talk.
feel-
I'll talk about something.
Yeah, let me hear it.
This is not super shady, but it's a little bit funny.
I feel like we've done this on the show before. We've just admitted stuff we'd like stealing.
Whatever. This is
Or like
this
that
is
was
10 years
but
ago.
That was
I don't
petty,
care.
like
Yeah,
grade
okay.
school shit.
So I was in Hawaii on spring break. A friend of mine.
Whoa!
I'm going to tell you the whole story.
You went
and
to Hawaii. For
listen to
spring
the whole
break?
story, and you'll understand sort of. A friend of mine in college was from Guam originally, so they had family that moved to Hawaii. Hawaii and Guam are like still 6 hours away from each other, but hey, there's not a whole lot going on in the Pacific, so I guess that's pretty common.
Yeah.
And so she said, hey, we can go stay with my family for the week. And, if you figure it out, that the hotel is obviously the most expensive part of a trip. So really it was just a flight. So it kind of evened out with like a trip to whatever, Jamaica or something close by. So we're there. And the first few nights we stayed in Oahu.
Okay.
And on the back end of the trip, we're going to Kauai, which is like the more remote, forested island. While we were on Oahu, we thought we'd buy some weed because that's a reasonable thing to do, and it's sort of has a reputation for very good, whatever. It was extremely expensive, as everything is in Hawaii, but weed in particular was very expensive.
That doesn't make sense too because you have to import vegetables and groceries, but weed you can grow on the island. There's no reason for that to be so expensive.
Yeah,
there.
that's bizarre. That
But
anyway,
there's less
I'm pretty sure weed
space.
just grows outside too with the humidity.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it. Anyway, it was very expensive. I guess they could get away with it.
Sure.
And so we bought, but we hadn't like used most of it by the time we had to go over to Kauai. And you have to fly to Kauai. There's no like boat, or there might be a boat, but we certainly didn't take one.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a moment where we're like, well, do we toss it or do we fly with it?
oh God, why was there even a question of whether or not you fly with it?
Why don't you smoke the rest of it?
No, you can't.
No,
smoke all that.
no, it wouldn't have been fun. It would have been a waste.
Okay.
So
It would have been a total backfire.
So we're all in line, and my two friends from Guam decided, okay, they were going to keep it on they put it in a shampoo bottle.
oh, they're crazy.
That's a bad idea.
That's bad.
in plastic,
Yeah.
and put it in there. And I'm waiting in line behind them in the security line, and the bags are going through, and they go through, and the security guy walks up, and he's like, excuse me, can I see your bag?
Oh shit.
And they open it up.
Just you guys.
Looking through. Is this yours? A nail clipper. And they're like, yes. And they're like, oh, you're going to have to take that away.
Okay.
And my heart nearly exploded.
Fell out of your face.
And that was it. It was fine. We got away with it.
okay.
So why did they pick you over?
No, they didn't pick me.
They
They picked
picked one of the
because the nail
guys.
clipper. This is
Oh, they
post,
saw it in the X-ray.
post 9/11
Oh,
nail
jeez.
clipper. So
That's
what can
not
I say?
shady. Well, I guess
you're
it's
gonna
a
get
It
little
was.
shady.
I mean,
that
that
is
is. I do
terrifying,
not
yeah.
generally break the law.
Yeah.
It's certainly not when it comes to like post 9/11 TSA
Yeah.
regulations. That was definitely like a moment of tension
I love
for me.
to see you just sweat
Oh my
that
god,
out.
I was really.
So I would never recommend somebody fly with weed.
Of course
No.
But
not.
recently
Especially-
I was talking to somebody about doing that, and they told me an insane way that they smuggle it.
Well,
you want to hear it?
Yes, I want to hear it.
So he
Because-
told me
and again,
Pringles.
and
It's in a Pringles
again,
can.
so you go to this young girl on
This is
Canal
all
Street.
bad advice. Don't follow
is horrible
this.
advice.
We're not
No.
condoning
It is
in
not
the
worth it.
Yeah.
least.
First of all, if you don't have a license for it, you shouldn't be smoking it
And
anyway. But
secondly,
definitely
wait 2
don't
years,
cross
it'll be
state
legal
borders.
everywhere.
Right, right.
That's true too. Just hold out.
So he told me that one time he was flying from LA to New York, right? and he lived in LA at the time.
The
He's just
Pineapple
going on
Express.
vacation. Yeah. And so what he did was ground a bunch of weed, right?
Okay.
He put the grounds inside tea bags, right? He like took out loose leaf tea from the bags, had the box and everything with 20 or whatever bags inside. Took the tea out, replaced it with the ground weed, right?
Okay.
Then re-stapled those bags. Okay.
This is like almost too much effort.
That is a lot of
right.
effort.
It's a lot of effort, but it gets crazier because he put those the weed bags back into the tea bags. There was still other real tea bags in there to sort of mask the smell.
Smart.
He didn't mark them. I think
He's got to smoke it all.
Smoke it all. Tea and everything.
Nothing.
Or he could probably make tea
Earl
with
Grey.
it too. So, and then for a little extra step, because it would still smell, it's an open box or whatever. He went to a friend who worked at a Blockbuster. This is how old the story is.
Okay.
At the time, right? And he brought this box to his friend and had them use the plastic sealer to reseal the tea box. And then he wrapped the box as a present using wrapping paper.
Jesus.
So, in the unlikely scenario that he was at the airport and got stopped, they would have to unwrap the package. Then open the box and then smell every single tea bag, which of course they didn't, and he got away with it. So since then, he's been doing that same thing and just bought in one of those plastic shrink wrap machines.
Smart.
Which is genius.
Good
because
investment.
those shrink wrap machines can probably come in handy for other stuff too.
Yeah, sure.
If you're trying to rip people off by posing things as brand new. But regardless,
games.
You sound like such a criminal.
regardless, that's a genius idea.
That is very smart.
It's smart, but at the same time, it's like, man, is it worth going through all
because
that?
the devil's in the details,
No,
man.
but pot's not that expensive.
Let them catch that kid with a one-hitter in his pocket.
Yeah, but
or you know what I mean?
Pot's not that much money.
But it's sometimes difficult to get it. Right?
I guess
Can't
that
just
you
go
got to
up to
really
random people.
be desperate to do stuff like that, though.
Yeah, and I think that's if you have bulk. You're not doing that for like an eighth or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not that we know of the normal sort of vernacular of any of this. This is all foreign. This is all Greek to us as far as we're concerned. All right.
But it doesn't matter in New York now anyway, right? Because they decriminalized.
It's been decriminalized.
Yeah,
not just weed, too. I read the other day that they decriminalized public drinking and open alcohol containers, too.
Oh, I
So
didn't
now
know
they
that.
won't actually take you in for
You
that.
just get a ticket.
You just
slap
get a
on
ticket.
the-
How much is the
or
ticket?
maybe just a slap on the wrist. I don't know.
It's probably
But
like
same
$100
thing for public urination as well.
Yeah.
And weed. So all that
I
stuff.
wonder how
And-
much that impacts like income for the city. How much is that really hurting them?
It probably is significant. I would imagine it's nowhere near significant as like how much they're losing from the yellow cabs. Like, they're losing billions of dollars off.
I also think that law does not apply for you if you live outside of, gentrified Brooklyn and Manhattan neighborhoods. Everywhere else, they're still taking people down for that stuff. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember I had a relative telling me a story about someone that worked for them and how like they thought they were going to have to go to jail, but they wound up just getting like a citation. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, okay.
For an open alcohol?
No, for pot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen people smoking joints on the street.
That's
I've seen people passing a blunt.
Yeah, that's
recently. It's
but that's always been
more
like
common.
Yeah, you go through any park now and you smell it.
Well, I don't know though, because one of my friends was telling me that her buddy, when she was with him one time outside of a bar, got caught by an undercover cop smoking a one-hitter.
Yeah.
And he got taken to jail. At
Oh,
the time.
wow,
This was
really?
a few years ago. So I don't know.
A few
Maybe
years
it's a bit different.
a lot
now.
has changed.
Yeah.
A lot has changed. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Seriously.
judge cops based on like? I always look for the gun to see what kind of cop they are. Like whether it's just a meter maid or like an actual cop.
Yeah, it's not always easy to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
It's subtle.
It is subtle because they all have a similar uniform.
And I feel like they should be more secure. Like there should be a better way to secure their guns. Like they don't look very secure.
Well, you mean the button? The button that closes the gun down?
Yeah.
That's the only
holster?
thing stopping
Yeah,
you from
it seems
taking
like very out there. I realize it doesn't happen very often where
Yeah.
people just grab at guns, but like, I don't know, fingerprint,
I always have that thought when I look at a
Biometric.
gun, though.
biometric, right?
What's that?
Don't we all have that instinct when we look at a cop's gun to be like, I should grab that thing? I always have that like half-second thought where I'm like, oh my God, that'd be crazy.
And
if
you
I
like
just
play
grabbed
out the
this right now.
scenario,
Yeah, totally.
like what would happen.
I think it's you die.
Yeah, absolutely.
The scenario is you die.
Have you guys seen any New York cops with body cameras on yet?
No,
because
I haven't.
supposedly that's going to start happening soon.
I haven't
too.
seen that.
I haven't. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm
Great thing.
all for that.
Totally.
So what's the worst thing you've done, man?
Yeah, really.
I've just heard a lot of shady stuff.
that you've done?
Like people admitting to killing JFK and you not telling anyone?
No, just like a lot of, stolen stuff. You just hear stories about like, I used to have a lot of friends in construction that would like tell me stories about, they would work until 4 a.m. And then when they would leave job sites at 4 a.m., like people would like meet the hundreds of construction workers that get off and would like sell them electronics and stuff like that. It's like really weird.
It just seems like a shadow economy, whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what a lot of.
I thought you were going to say they like bury people in cement at the bottom of the buildings.
No, I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean,
How would you ever find anyone? That's the perfect crime.
It is pretty good. That's shady. I'm threatened by shady stuff, but I also think it's
fascinating.
Really
well, it's exciting to think that there's so much stuff that's happening underneath the city,
right?
Like there's this veneer of what we see in shiny stores and tourists, but there's some lurking stuff that all happens in Chinatown.
It does, man.
Yeah, I've seen poker rings and stuff. If you walk down into deep Chinatown, a lot of times they'll just leave that door open and you'll see like mahjong and gambling and stuff going on. I'm sure that's
nothing's shadier than mahjong.
Oh yeah, that's gambling, man.
I've just heard every shady story from like, casinos in Queens and like, like private member, like gentleman clubs and stuff like that. Just like shady things that you hear about, You're like, what?
Right.
You're like, wait, what?
There's a lot of stuff you can organize.
There's a thing where you like get an email and you get a password somewhere and you just show up at a place. What?
And there's like stuff going on.
What? There's
more
like
stuff
things,
than other places.
There's like better stuff. What?
Not vague at all.
Wow.
It's right.
Yeah. Thanks for
what
taking
a shady
me.
world. All right, I'm gonna let that one sit.
Yeah,
we're gonna take a break. And when we come back,
we're very lucky to live in New York, right? There's people in Wisconsin right now that are like, oh God,
oh, they have that.
I wouldn't give.
Yeah. Well, no, it's good. Let's never leave. More 404 on the other side. See you in a sec. Russ, I see your face is as beautiful as it has ever been.
It really is gorgeous.
Well, you can't say that about your own face.
What can I say? It's gorgeous.
I want to tell you a way you can make it even more gorgeous.
I don't think that's possible, but let me hear it.
Well, because I look at your face and I'm like, man, my bud could use a close shave.
Oh, that's true. I could use a close shave.
So and this is the truth, and we're talking about Harry's. I kind of resigned myself to the fact that I could never use a real blade again because I have a real sensitive face.
Indeed.
But I tried Harry's.
Okay.
And I told him, I'm like, look, you sponsor the show, we appreciate it. But you're going to send me your blade, and I'm going to bleed everywhere.
Yes.
And I'm going to break out. And I'm like, nah, try it.
Okay.
And I tried it, and I will not lie.
World changing.
Man, it didn't change my world.
Face changing.
But it definitely opened me up to the idea that, you know what, Jeff, you can get away using a blade that is also affordable.
Cool.
In addition to it being comfortable. And it got me over my fear of face blade shaving.
Good for you.
Look. We're not going to lie. Harry's is the cheap alternative to conventional razor buying. It's pretty great. Why would you want to pay $32 for an 8-pack of blades when you can get them for half price?
Crazy.
Half that price at Harry's.com. The Harry's starter set, it's a great deal. It's only $15 and you get a razor, moisturizing shave cream, and 3 razor blades. And best of all, if you use promo code CNET, you get $5 off your first order. So what are you waiting for? If you've got a face and on that face has, chin pubes, why not give them a try?
Live it up.
Harrys.com. Go check it out for a clean shave that doesn't make you overpay. Come on, give them a try. Use code CNET when you check out. Go right now to Harrys.com. That's HARRYS.com. Enter CNET at checkout and get $5 off your first order. Big shout out to Harry's. Woof. Man, I feel like we just went to hell and back.
Wowza.
I feel like we've seen the other side.
It might have seemed like a short break for you guys, but we just talked for 2 hours about Jeff's weekend.
About the weekend and what dreams may come. All right, you're going away, Justin. Where are you headed?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this on the air. We were speaking in the break a little bit about it, but I'm going to New Orleans.
Nolans.
At the end of March, so pretty soon, March 24th.
Right.
And I'm going for my friend's bachelor party.
Okay.
Which
boy.
doesn't seem relevant right now, but if you had heard the conversation we were talking about, it is. So I wanted to ask you guys, have you been to New Orleans before? Do you have any recommendations for me?
No insight.
I've been there.
You sound defeated. What happened to you in New Orleans?
So I don't like that city.
Really?
Yeah.
What did she do to you?
Lady New Orleans.
So my impressions from that city are based off of like being there in the summer.
Right.
When
Very
it's
hot.
111 degrees
that must be a lot.
and 9300% humidity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun to be had in that city.
Mm.
I think I had a bad impression from it because of the heat and because this was like right after Katrina too. So like that city was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Which is obviously not fair to judge.
How soon after Katrina was it?
Like a year and a half.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
it's still
soon.
bad.
It was rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have friends who went to Tulane that like love it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
we
I'm
have
not-
about 8 guys that are going,
yeah.
so that's been fun to plan out.
Yeah.
But we found this one thing that sounded pretty cool. I think we might actually do it. So do you guys know what nutria are?
Yes, the giant rats.
So the nutria are giant
no, you are
swamp
doing
rats.
this?
Have you heard about what I'm about to
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it?
So
What, shoot them?
Okay, so yeah, basically,
Oh, no.
New Orleans, probably because of Katrina, has a really bad nutria problem.
Which are
right?
overgrown rats.
Overgrown giant rats. They look sort of similar to those Princess Bride monsters.
They're kind of cute. Like I've seen
and
cute
they're hairy.
photos of
They
them.
sort of
look
look
like
like a cross
Muppets.
between a possum and a fox.
Yeah. They're
And a
about
rat.
the size of like a large dog.
Sure. So look them up, Nutria. And they've become such a bad problem with pests in New Orleans that there are places where you can go and pay a fee, and they give you little pellet guns, or I think maybe even 22 rifles. And you go out on these hunting trips, right? Because it's sanctioned by the city for you to kill these things, these nutria. And so you go out on these hunting packs, and they take you underneath the catacombs of the city. They take you into the sewer areas where they congregate, and you just basically shoot these things all day long.
Is a pellet gun enough to kill one of these things?
Yeah, I think it might have been a 22. I forget what I read. It was some kind of gun, but it was a low enough caliber.
They're
to not
pretty
be-
big.
Yeah.
You'd have to shoot them in the brain.
Yeah.
So
maybe they have scopes on these guns. But, I thought it was a good idea, and it sounded like fun. The program got good reviews online from these people that had done it.
Yeah,
but
so-
then I looked online, and they kind of are cute.
They're
look like little
adorable.
capybaras.
They are
They have
kind of
like
cute.
furry,
Oh, is there an ad?
furry
They're
little
fur-
feet, and
yeah.
they don't have long rat tails or anything.
No, they're almost like
This one's licking an ice cream cone online.
Yeah, it's something that if I shot, I sort
Feel
of
bad.
would feel bad for.
and I don't
Shooting
want
anything, I would feel bad.
and I feel like there's people listening right now that are like, "Oh my god. Don't do that."
Yeah, if it was a rodent, if it was a legit New York rodent, I think they should bring this program to New York.
Yeah, we need more. We
But
need
they're
more.
hard
because
to
people
hit.
would
They're
love
very
that.
nimble, the New York rats.
Yeah, they carry pizza
But
downstairs.
imagine busting
They
one of
do.
those things in the eye with a pellet gun. It'd be
Oh.
so gratifying.
Now, you know what? So are you doing this though?
I don't know. I think we might check it out, but who knows if I'll actually
sounds
go through with
upsetting.
it.
It
I'll come back and let you know. I might be a
You'll stay-
vegetarian after
I
that.
think you're gonna stay at the hotel that night.
Just in the bathtub.
We're crying.
So cool.
Where are you staying?
So we got an Airbnb because we
Okay.
have eight dudes going. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a pretty
that's the way
big
to do
party.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else are you? Because the food is great.
The food is amazing there, yeah, supposedly. The thing that people talk about all the time is seafood, but in New Orleans last time when I went, the best thing there that I ate was these chocolate-covered pralines.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
The caramel pralines.
Yeah.
Ooh, so
Yeah.
good. I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, that's nice. You're gonna have a lot of fun down there.
Yeah, I think
man.
it'll be a blast.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if anyone wants to recommend stuff for me to do, you should email me.
Yeah,
or tweet
definitely.
me.
That would be very nice. And it's affordable. That place is like one of the last affordable places in the U.S.
Yeah, yeah.
So enjoy it. Live it up.
Maybe I'll come back with a crawdad tattoo.
Yeah.
We were thinking about doing crew tattoos.
You might as well.
Right?
Might as well. It'll be cheap enough down there.
Well, I'll get the bride's name tattooed.
Oh, that's filthy. Russ, you seem to be staring at something that has caught your attention.
No,
Are
no,
you
no.
okay?
We're fine. I was just a little distracted.
We've talked about this thing for a while, and it's like it's real now.
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah.
and you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
The top thing on this list.
Yeah.
I'm very upset.
Well, were you upset when they and I guess I do want to talk about the new Ghostbusters trailer in a second as well. But I guess we have to talk about this because we kind of just owe it to ourselves, right?
We do.
Tim Burton has confirmed that there's gonna be a Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, yeah. So there was originally, as I understand it, there was originally going to be a Beetlejuice 2 after the first movie was quite the success.
Right.
And it was going to be set in Hawaii. And
They
it was
wrote
like
it.
Beetlejuice goes to Hawaii or something like that.
Why would he go to Hawaii? Like what? Based off the success and the ending of Beetlejuice 1, where is the logical connection
that's
to a tropical island?
That's a very common, like the second Brady Bunch movie went to a tropical island.
Oh my God! How dare you?
I'm just saying.
You saw the second Brady Bunch movie?
They're funny movies.
You saw the first one?
They're funny movies.
Fine.
They're like written by the same guy who wrote Addams Family. They're funny movies. Anyway, so it's happening, and I guess, Michael Keaton is in a Keaton-sance right now, so like he's back.
Nice.
It's amazing that his hiatus was only like 11 years long.
That's pretty long.
I don't know. If you're in Hollywood, I feel like that's
11
like
years.
2 movies.
You're gone. Essentially,
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
not 2 movies. People do a movie every year.
He's still so hot. He's been in back-to-back Best Pictures.
Yeah, crazy.
And yeah, he's on fire. Spotlight was great.
Oh my God.
I just watched it.
If they did like an old man Batman with him, that would be the best thing
I
ever.
would do.
Can you imagine?
I'm sure someone's talking. About it. How is someone not talking?
Old man
How is
Batman.
How is Tim Burton not talking
Do
about
Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
with him.
Oh no, you could be amazing. You
So
could
sick.
do the Dark Knight Returns with
Oh,
him.
yeah. Right.
But I guess that's kind of what Batman vs Superman.
They have
is.
shots from that
Ugh.
comic in the movie.
We don't talk about that movie.
No,
on
we
this
don't.
podcast.
It's done.
I'm sorry?
We don't talk
It
about
looks-
Batman versus Superman
Because
on
it looks
this
terrible
podcast.
and we hate it.
Wait, what?
We
You think
don't talk about that movie on this podcast.
I have
think it looks
bad
good?
things to say about the trailers that have come out
Yeah,
for it because I think
okay.
they've spoiled the entire movie.
Yeah,
but you
showing
think-
Doomsday or whoever
But
that
you think
character
it's
is.
funny and exciting?
Funny?
Well, whatever. Entertaining and exciting.
I'm absolutely going to watch it just like you guys are.
I'm
but
not gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I'm not
you're
gonna pay money
You
to
guys are
see
gonna
that
I'm
watch
gonna pay
it.
money for it.
I'm not going to spend
You have to
$15
go to
a
the
ticket.
theaters to see it?
Not a
No way.
chance.
No way.
The first movie was so bad. That Superman movie was terrible.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. You usually share the same sort of dark cynicism.
I don't know. It was a David S. Goyer movie. How bad could it have been? Like, I thought the original Superman movie is what we're talking about, right?
Zack Snyder wrote it.
Yeah. Well, no, Goyer wrote it. Snyder directed it.
No, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Goyer and Snyder wrote it, but I know Snyder was behind the script as well.
Goyer wrote this one, right?
Right.
He
Goyer
wrote
did write
Batman,
this one,
Superman.
yes.
I'm
That was
looking
the
forward to
only-
it. Yeah, I think it's going to be decent. I'm not really, really, really looking forward to it, but yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'm also not into like the Civil War stuff.
So the weird thing, I was very excited about Civil War, and now in seeing the newest trailer that just came out, it seems that it's a much smaller battle. Like Civil War in the comics was like hundreds of superheroes duking it out, and now it looks just like
A
four
four
on
on
four,
four, yeah.
and then Spider-Man shows up. Also, what's Spider-Man gonna do at this point? Like, really, he's gonna shoot some webs. That's gonna be enough to take down Captain America. Like, what? He has no place in that battle. Iron Man could shoot him in the face with a rocket. It'd be done.
And be done. Is it like I think all this stuff is getting ruined for me.
Yeah.
Not that I don't still read comics. I've never read more comics in my lifetime.
Sure.
I seriously am juggling 15 comic books right now. 15 series.
Yeah.
I love them. But none of them are really like superhero-y.
Right. They're all more grounded.
They're all more some of them are super out there.
Okay.
But they're not superhero based.
Okay.
And I don't know. I feel like the saturation, the oversaturation of all of these things, like I've already lost count of like where we're at. Like I don't know. I know Iron Man doesn't have his own movies anymore, so he's like in Captain America,
Right.
And there's Civil War, and now Spider-Man's in there.
Yeah, all the webs of stories are getting really hard to follow. Like I saw they announced the Venom movie. That's going to get its own spin-off.
Yeah, because they wanted
But
to
that's
do
not
the
part
Deadpool
of
thing.
the general Marvel canon. So the Spider-Man will probably be different in that movie too. It's hard to keep
Yeah,
track
it's
of
very
which ones
confusing.
connect to the others.
And there's a lot of like inconsistencies, right? So you'll have like Robert Downey Jr. as that guy, but now it's a different Spider-Man.
Right.
So they like honor the legacy of RDJ, and you're like, wait, what?
Or having two
Quicksilver was in
Quicksilvers,
two
yeah.
movies.
It's
Yeah.
really distracting.
It's weird.
And people just they lose their minds over it. They think it's the greatest thing in the
Yeah.
world.
I'm really curious how much money the Batman Superman movie makes. I'm really curious
Yeah, I
because
think
the buzz. I don't know. In general, I
people
don't think
seen it.
Oh, people have seen it?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything though.
Oh, really?
No, I haven't heard anything either. But I would say in general, having seen the trailers, and it doesn't seem like the buzz is super positive for it. And I'm wondering maybe that's just like the insular internet speak, or maybe
So
I don't know.
This is going to sound awful, and I don't want anyone to lose money. I don't want anyone to be out of a job, but I almost feel like we're at the point for this to like self-regulate and balance. Like we need to have a bomb.
Well, yeah. I mean,
We need to
Fantastic
have-
Four was a bomb, certainly.
But like at the end
A
of the day,
big
I
one.
still feel like people don't give a shit about Fantastic Four anyway.
yes, that's true. It's more of an
People
upsell.
give a shit about Superman
Yeah.
and Batman,
Yeah.
and I feel like we just need a regulatory bomb
Yeah.
that like constructs the balance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like something needs to die
Yeah.
for like the rest of us to continue on with some semblance of sanity.
Well, and it would also sort of reboot things for the Ben Affleck Batman movie, which I actually am excited about because he's a good director.
He's-
and like
what? He's
directing a standalone Batman movie after this movie.
and he's Batman.
And he's Batman.
God, why does he get to do all this, man?
He's talented. He's a
Yeah.
talented guy. And handsome.
He's
Good actor,
I don't
sort of.
dislike Ben Affleck.
He's fine.
I don't dislike him. I don't know if I love his buddy Matt Damon, but I don't dislike Ben Affleck.
Okay, so what's the problem?
My problem still stems from the fact that like he's Mr. Hollywood. Why does Mr. Hollywood get to be Batman also? Like give it to someone else.
What, you want an Uggo being Batman?
I don't want someone ugly because Bruce Wayne's beautiful and he's a ladies' man. No, I'm kidding. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like
It's just the nature of these big franchises. You can't
guess,
put an
but, like,
unknown face there.
I don't know the dude wearing the Spider-Man costume in Civil War. He's some new guy, right?
that's true.
Yeah,
Just
but
some
you
kid.
have to cast a young kid.
Some
as
people know
Spider-Man.
who he is. We just don't because
You
we're
also have to
demographic.
graphic.
Because we're old.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's always like Tobey Maguire was not a person before Spider-Man.
He was not a
no,
human.
did
being.
not exist.
Well, do
I
you
don't
think you
know.
guys will watch this new Beetlejuice movie though, or are you going to boycott that? Too?
I mean, I will wait and see, but I'm very
It's a
pessimistic
Burton
about it.
Beetlejuice movie. Like,
Yeah.
if you told me,
I'm not going to go blind.
Winona's in it, right?
and Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
and I mean, I hope
Winona?
Winona.
Winona.
Winona. It's not Winona Judd.
Not one. Wait, do they spell it the same?
I
No.
used to have such a
Winona.
thing for Winona Ryder.
Who did
Oh,
it?
yeah, Dynamite.
Like Winona Ryder,
Totally.
Marissa
Lainey?
Tomei,
Oh,
like that
the
actress.
90s. Yeah.
But yeah, like man, oh man, I don't know how I feel about this
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna wait.
because I always thought it was never gonna happen.
it's also been a long time since Tim Burton's done like a good movie.
No, a big Bright Eyes was that? What it was called?
Oh, I heard that was not well received.
I enjoyed it a great deal.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
Big
it was
Eyes.
very good. Big Eyes.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
Big fish.
So have they talked about what the story's going to be or anything like that? They have a script written, right?
I don't know. Tim Burton has told the I don't know who this is, Showbiz Spy. They are, I guess, a Hollywood blog. He told them the film is a go and has been approved by Warner Brothers. We have talked with the cast members we wanted for the film, and they are all on board, which includes Winona and Michael.
Yeah.
And
we
what about
have
Baldwin?
I don't know. He better be there. We have the script in hand. Everything's in place, and all we need to do is get ready and start filming.
What about Otho?
what about, like-
Is he alive?
He's dead.
No, really?
Yeah, he died like 2 years ago, I think.
Sad.
Jeffrey Jones is like in a
Oh
weird
yeah, he's
spot.
not gonna
Oh,
be in
he
it.
got arrested.
But Catherine O'Hare is,
Yeah,
I'm sure,
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to
She would
roll.
do it. She would
What
do
did he
it.
get arrested
No,
for?
I don't know, and I don't know.
Something bad, right?
It
Something
was-
sexual.
It was
I think.
something
Sexual
pedophilia.
children.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was bad.
I think it was like kiddie porn,
Oh,
which is
he looks
obvious,
creepy,
which is
too.
obviously terrible.
He's so creepy.
Ugh.
Even
Yeah.
before that, it felt weird.
I loved him as Rooney and Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, but if that's what he's involved in, no thanks, bud. But yeah,
Oy.
we'll have to
Charles
wait and see how
Dietz.
this shakes out.
Yeah.
I guess all you can do is be optimistic. All right, we got to talk about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I was sort of, I guess, a little surprised by how much hate there was after people saw the trailer. I didn't think.
Well, here's why.
Okay,
Because it's not a good trailer.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that it's not a good trailer, and but I don't think it's like a universally bad trailer. It's just like a blah trailer, which maybe is why people were so pissed because there's so much expectation there.
Yeah. What do you think, Justin?
I think that the rhythm for some of the jokes was a little bit too spastic. Like every 2 seconds, it seemed like each actor was making a new joke. And the thing I liked about the original Ghostbusters was that even though all those actors are comedians, I guess not all of them, but most of them are
No, they
comedians.
were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they weren't.
Besides Ernie Hudson, I guess.
Yeah, they weren't They weren't telling jokes all the time. Not all of those characters were funny all the time. It was really just
I think
Bill
that's
Murray.
a trailer issue, though.
Yeah. So
anything.
I'm hoping that it's not going to be like that where everyone just has to get their own little.
It was also not
thing
very
in there.
slapsticky, and this looked very
Definitely.
To me, that's the big turnoff is that, this is like a cartoony, slapsticky Ghostbusters, perhaps.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like all those individual actresses, so
Yeah.
that's giving me some hope.
And Paul Feig is a very talented director, very
Definitely.
funny guy.
Right.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and
Of
say
course.
this is not a good representation. Trailers oftentimes don't
Right.
show. I would love to see like a scene.
Yeah.
I think that would be much more
I
representative.
need to see a scene.
I think they just pooped the bed on the trailer.
It's hard to make a trailer. Trailers
is.
are hard, right?
Yeah.
Who's the villain in this movie? Have they announced any of that stuff yet?
I don't want to know.
No? Okay.
I mean, she said something about like someone's turning ghost energy around in New York
Right.
City, whatever the hell. I mean, who cares? Like, there wasn't really a villain except for Walter
Vigo.
Peck. No, well, in the first one it was Peck.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he just flipped the
The
switch.
villain in the first one was
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
No.
Sorry.
It was Gozer.
It was Gozer.
Gozer the Gozerian.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Choose the form of the destructor. I mean, like, are we gonna get stuff like that?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the first Ghostbusters and even the second one that kind of just works.
And I guess, I don't know. It feels
They are
the first
so-
one feels very like where all the characters are very grounded and like
Yeah.
believable, especially like Ernie Hudson's character and the concern that I had watching the trailer was that like they just went like hard in the direction of like extremes.
Because believe it or not, like they really do, and even though it's quick, they do a good job at explaining who those three people are right away.
In the trailer?
Yeah, where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, these guys are like
Right.
Venkman's like the worst scientist ever. He's such a dick.
Yeah.
He's been like playing it lazy his whole life.
Yeah.
Ray, is just a paranoid dude who's
Right.
gullible but like means well. And then you have Egon, who's like a very, takes it super passionate, and he's a realist and he's blunt, and I don't know, like maybe that's what we get.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I
Yeah.
hate to like compare them directly, but what else can you do?
Right, exactly.
It's the same franchise.
Yeah.
Same story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Hard to say.
I will wait and see on this one as well.
So there's an Apple event next week if you're into in 2 weeks if you're into Apple.
What do they do for?
I don't know. What are they? Do you know? I have no idea because I don't care.
When do new phones come out in the September, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what this is for.
And the
Maybe
new
a new
iPad.
iPad.
No, that just happened. The iPad Pro came out 6 months ago?
Yeah, I don't know. The invitation says we're gonna loop you in.
Well, it says, according to
Maybe they're
CNET,
building
a
the
4-inch
Hyperloop.
iPhone and an updated iPad are among the new products to be announced,
A
potentially.
4-inch iPhone?
Yeah.
So like back to the little iPhone?
I guess so.
When they mentioned
Very
the
interesting.
loop, but that's usually the invitation is a clue, right?
Right. Let's
So maybe
loop
it's like
you
a
in.
loophole in the FBI case.
Right. It must
That's
be.
what it is. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
that's
That's
it.
okay. Okay, we got to the
Totally.
bottom of that.
loop.
Cracked
So
it.
yeah, that's out in San Francisco on March 21st. So go to CNET.com and find out what you want to find out about that. I'm at the point where I see one of these things and I'm like, whatever.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
wonder,
I get excited.
do you?
Yeah. I like Apple I do like Apple products.
But we're
but-
older. Do you think young people give a shit? Do you think a 20-year-old cares
Wait, about a
Yeah.
new phone?
about Apple's event on the 21st? Do you
Yeah,
think
I think
a
they do.
20-year-old
Hell
person?
yes,
Yeah?
definitely.
I think they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
You're out of the loop.
I think it's
I'm
because
out
they
of
use
that
their
loop.
phones for more things than we do.
Yeah, I guess so.
They got to get their snappies in.
Oh my God,
Are you on Snapchat?
No. I can't figure it out.
Are you on Snapchat?
I installed it.
I
I do
am
have
now-
an account, but I was like, do I take?
Oh
I
my
felt like the
God.
oldest man in the world.
That's how it
do
was
I
this
take a
week for us.
video?
Yeah, but
We had a training seminar this week
it was
for
bad.
Snapchat.
That's
because we need to start
amazing.
doing that more. So look out for Snapchat and CNET on there.
I've been doing it for a little while.
But
To be a fly on the
it
wall
was-
of that meeting.
it was bad.
Pretty
Was it a
brutal.
16-year-old girl like the person teaching you?
No, the people doing it also maybe weren't the right people.
No, I think they were the right people.
Yeah?
They were the ones that knew the most about it for sure.
I
I just
kinda felt like
don't
I
think
maybe
we were
knew-
ready to grasp those.
I kind of feel like I had a better grasp on that thing.
I think they overcomplicated it, but that's because a lot of people were asking for very detailed
Here's
explanations
what I don't
of stuff that
understand.
you
How-
might have been able to figure out.
How do you profit on Snapchat?
So it's very hard. The people making money are like these amazing. So like if you swipe all the way to the right,
Sure.
you see the curated content that comes from like 20 or so selected brands.
Sure.
And those brands are able to monetize their stories that
How?
they tell.
Are there ads?
There's ads, yeah.
Oh, like pre-roll and stuff?
Yeah. No, well, like,
Or pop-up?
they're just like, you tap to move forward in a story.
Yeah.
One of the taps
Got it,
gives you an ad.
But those are invite only for those 20.
There's
so it's a very exclusive
Yeah.
spot.
They're exclusive and unique
Exclusives.
relationships there. Which
So what have you snapped so far for CNET?
Oh,
Or do
Jeff
you
is
snap in your
terrible.
personal life
I
too?
I do just for me.
And you're,
okay,
And you're
alright.
terrible at social media, so.
No, I'm okay.
Are you?
I'm not the worst. I'm bad.
Yeah.
So do you usually do the story?
I'm a bad
Or are you
Twitterer.
snapping to people?
I just do my story.
Okay.
Like if I snap to people, it's to like 3 people.
Yeah.
And it's like the booger that just came out of Dylan's face.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you got to see this. It looks like Italy.
I think the funny part about that meeting was that Snapchat's such like a casual thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like basically explaining a joke.
Yeah, don't
or
overcome
spending
it.
like
Yeah,
10 minutes talking to somebody how they can like resize a sticker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like, how do I get the rainbow puke to come out of your mouth?
Right.
But then like to talk about that for 5 minutes without breaking a smile, it's kind of funny.
And I think Snapchat is a terrible application. It's really not good.
Sure.
But it's so insanely popular because I feel like it resonates with certain kind of people. Like Stacy got really into it in the last 6 months, and she's really active on it.
Yeah.
And she's like using it, and she's like, why does this suck? And I'm like, it does, right? Like it's not a good app. And it's not
Right.
laid out logically. It kind of flies in the face of every like sort of fundamental app design language.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything you can do in it, you have to figure out. And we were trying to talk about like, is that a design choice where they were like, let's let people just figure this out?
Yeah.
Or is it just like a lack of transparency? And they're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, but it happened to work out where people just fell in love with it anyway. And I related it to when you pick up the controller and start playing a game that you don't know how to play. And it's like the same sort of feeling where you're like, oh, I just have to figure out how to do this.
Right.
And maybe it's the same. You can like use that analogy for Snapchat, because Snapchat has like hidden controls. Like everything in Snapchat, for the most part, like all the finite granular features and options, none of that is laid out.
Right. It's
you
very
just have to figure
exactly.
it out.
And there's no tutorial.
There's
or
no
anything?
tutorial.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's vexing.
And it's just like, yeah, here you go, use
It's
it.
like a Sphinx's puzzle.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like we should have been having this conversation years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
Or I'm sure young people have
Snapchat
already
has
had
gotten way more complicated though in the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's evolved.
And by the time you master it, it'll be dead.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
mean-
a lot of people, a lot of eyeballs on
Yeah, that's
Snapchat.
true.
I guess the one thing that I didn't know that I learned going to that meeting was that those stickers or some of the animated stuff that you could put on top of your face are temporary, and those get released every week.
Yeah, they
on a
change every
schedule.
day. They
So,
change every
every
day.
day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
And what you can
see
buy
today might
them
not
if you
be
want
there
something
tomorrow.
permanently.
I think you can buy some of them, and I think, something like that.
Okay.
But
So that's
that's not how they're making money. I mean, I'm
Understood.
sure some idiot out there is buying a certain kind of emoji.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
or even paying to replay someone's Snapchat, which if you do that, come on, you're a psychopath. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say that this morning I was browsing Instagram, and you guys look at memes on Instagram.
Sure,
obviously.
some of the following.
Memes?
Yeah, like
I
some
don't
people
look at
post
memes on
like-
Instagram.
Like Daquan or, whatever, brown cardigan.
Yeah, some people
I don't know what
post
you're talking
memes to
about.
Instagram. What do you mean?
I just follow friends and they post
Jerry.
pictures of their family.
Oh, all right.
And
But you know what a
roller
meme
coasters.
is.
Yes, I'm aware of memes.
Yeah.
It's on Imager, sure, all the time. And
Yeah,
Reddit
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Absolutely.
Okay, well, anyway, so I was looking at some meme accounts on Instagram this
Okay.
morning, and one of them had a link to. They were like, "Oh, go check out the link in my profile to download this app called SpyCam."
Okay.
And I don't know, it obviously doesn't work because that'd be a huge loophole in privacy. But they're claiming that this app, and I should bring it up because I don't remember what the actual name of it was. But there was a field where you put in somebody's phone number, and they're claiming that once you do that, you can pay to access their camera, their
No.
front-facing camera,
No.
to look at whoever's doing it. And
That's
also, it's
ridiculous.
a keyboard logger as well, so
way.
it'll
Not
transmit
a
whatever this
chance.
person's written. So I don't know, like the websites seem legit. I don't know if they're maybe is just farming credit cards or people's personal
The
information
website seemed
or
legit.
or what. But it was
It's a scam.
I mean, not legit as in like it works, but just that someone had spent time to build this out. So I'm wondering what the actual purpose of it is and why people are actually falling for it. Because if you know anything about internet.
You said you fell for it.
There's no, I didn't actually sign up for it because
okay.
you have to pay to get.
But that's the reason you didn't sign up for it, because you had to pay?
Yeah, and also there's no way that could be a real thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the more important factor.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it sounded crazy.
Weird.
The world, it's a changing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call it a day.
Sounds good.
It was excellent having you here, bud.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm talking to Justin. You're always.
I was talking to Justin
We made
too.
hard eye contact.
Okay.
Well, not really. I was looking at my computer, but I was talking to Justin. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you haven't gotten past the shady talk in the first section.
Yeah,
No.
what are you still looking at in there?
Creep. What are you looking at, you creep?
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude. This has
Where
been
can
fun.
people follow you on the Twitters?
Check me out on Malice Brutus at Twitter.
Are you active with that?
Yeah, I've been getting more active
you
lately.
get more on that.
I basically just use it as a reminder for stuff to read later on for
What-
myself.
What's your
Like,
Snappies
it's a
account?
bookmark. I don't have a Snapchat account yet. I
Oh
got to
my
make
God.
one for scene. I feel like the big thing that's stopping me from getting on is that none of my friends snap. So who would I be snapping with?
Me.
Just following like celebrities
I
and
wanna
stuff?
snap
Well, you
with
follow
you.
memes on Instagram.
I
so-
do. I could do that for.
Yeah.
I want to
for
snap
Snapchat.
with you.
Sure.
Oh.
Do you follow celebrities
No.
or like anyone?
Right now, it's
anyone
only
that's not your
friends
friend?
and a few brands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to follow brands?
I follow like NHL Snap.
Oh, sure.
Chat is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You got to call it Snappies, though. That's what people-
Snappies.
Snappies. All right, I'll get on, and then you got to add me.
All right, rock and roll. That's going to do it for us. 866-404 CNET. There were a few voicemails today, but we just didn't have time. Just didn't have time for that. Shoot us an email to 404@cnet.com. We're back next week with a brand new show. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jeff Bacala.
I'm Russ Frushtick.
And I'm Justin Yu.
This has been the 404 Show, High Tech Lowbrow. Dude, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Rock and roll. We'll see you next time.